Hi, I'm Lindsay from howtosew.com, and today we're going to be showing you how to hand stitch the binding to your project. So we're going to be demonstrating on this very cute Quilt As You Go placemat, and we've already machine stitched the binding to the top of the quilt, so we'll be showing you how to hand stitch to the back. You can find the instructions for the placemat and how to machine stitch the binding to the front of your project at the links below. So the materials you'll need to gather before hand stitching your binding are a needle, thread. We're using a dark thread so you can see our stitches, but you should choose one that matches your binding and backing fabric, a scissors, and then something called wonder clips, which are just little clips that help hold your binding in place so you can stitch easier. So we have threaded our needle and knotted the end, and what you want to do to start is just hide the knot right under the binding so you won't see that little tail. So to start, you're going to take a little stitch right by the edge of the binding through the backing fabric, only the backing, otherwise your stitches will show through the front of your quilt. And then you're just going to pull that through, and then you're going to take a stitch about 1/4 inch long through the fold in your binding, and then pull that through, and then take another stitch right under that stitch in the backing, and then you're just going to continue this process until you reach a corner. And you can see our stitching lines just a little bit, but if you were using red thread, you would not see our stitches at all. So we've sewed along one edge of the binding until we reach the corner, and we've stopped right at that seam line. And then we're going to fold the corner to make a nice mitered corner so you can see how it lays flat. Then you're going to just take a little stitch right at the bottom to hold that corner in place. And then you're going to travel along that second edge till you get to the middle. And then take another stitch right in the middle. And then you're going to travel right back down that side again. That'll just hide those stitches even more. Okay, so to start that second edge of your binding, we are just going to reposition one of our wonder clips to make it easier for us to sew. And then you just continue like you have, taking a little stitch only at the backing, and then going through the fold in the binding about 1/4 inch. And then you would just continue this all the way around until your binding is done. And then when you get to the end of either your thread, if you run out of thread, or the end of your project, you just want to take a few stitches right under the binding to hide the thread and hide your little knot you're going to tie, and you secure it in place and cut it off, and you're done. Once you've stitched around all 4 sides, your project is complete.